Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again. Happy Sunday to you. I'm glad that you pressed play, that you're joining me for a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a Bible study. It's going to be something that's going to open your eyes. You know, Jesus went around casting out devils. Really? This is get out of them. Get out of them. And you think about possession. You think of stuff that happens in the movies. The head spinning around, pea soup shooting out of the mouth, all the crazy, the boils and the black eyes. You think of all this scary, spooky stuff. And it can be scary. And I got to tell you something. I think I'm going to help with all that. I'm going to help with all that because Jesus came on the scene, right? And he cast out the devils. He cast out the devils. He set people free. There's actually a passage in many of the Gospels, but the one that I'm going to read to you is from Mark 5. A man or a woman, a person named Legion, because this person was possessed by many a devil. And when you find out what that story really means, because I gotta tell you something, I hate to tell you all this, but a lot of the stuff that you've been told, it's a bunch of baloney. So it's a bunch of baloney. And the truth actually sets you free. It's on the t-shirt, that's why I'm sporting it today. Actually, it was just as comfy, and I gotta get to work, so I didn't want to ruin any other shirts. But the truth sets you free. Sets you free from the lies you believe. So I hope you buckled up, people, because people are gonna be set free on this show. All right, so first, before we get into the story, I want to talk a little bit about what a devil is, okay? Because the devil is a spooky monster. I have a video, by the way, if you want to learn more about Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. Watch that video, Lucifer Revealed. It'll open your eyes to something, I'm sure. But the devil in Scripture, there's a great explanation of who the devil is. The Scriptures say that the devil was a murderer from the beginning. Murderer, and that there was no truth in him. And that he was a liar and the father of all lies. Now, this is going to be cool because you're about to get what they call revelation, okay? If you're the father of all lies, meaning if you are the origin of lies itself, you have a bunch of children that would be lies, exactly, right? You're the father of all lies, all your kids are a bunch of lies. So if you're the devil and you have a bunch of devils, the father of all lies creates a bunch of lies. Now, this is interesting because the Scriptures say the truth sets you free. What does the truth set you free from? You see, I'm laying some what they call groundwork because people have been lied to for a long time. Lies, because we're in the world of the fallen. Lies, people have believed a bunch of lies, and that's why they can't be set free. They can't understand why they can't get out of their trouble. They can't understand why their lives can't get better. They can't understand why their relationships won't get better and why they can't get ahead because they're still possessed by a bunch of devils, by a bunch of lies. And it's kind of like when you have a problem, you got to understand you have a problem before you set free from it. You have to hear the truth, and the truth sets you free from the lies you believe. It's kind of like if you believe something that's not true your whole life. You know, you believe something and all of a sudden someone tells you this is the truth, and then they show you and then you experience the truth of it. That thing that you believed, you know, it's no longer around. That's why you got a lot of gods out there, right? You got like Hercules. Today, if you believed in Hercules, that would be a god that you'd pray to. But a lot of people don't believe that Hercules exists. And so the lie is cast out of the throne of God, the judgment seat of God, which is your mind. It's just so you know. Okay. Father of all lies. Murderer from the beginning, because what is a lie? Murder? The truth. And what is God? Jesus said that I am the way, the truth, and the life. Okay? Christ, the way, the power of God, the wisdom of God. John says that God is love. So, that's life. A lie would kill that. And the foundation of the world. Which, by the way, I'm going to do a video on that too. What the end of the world means. Yeah, I'm going to give you a hint. In Scripture, it says, all that is in the world, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, the lamb that was slain at the foundation of the world. See, when we start believing lies, and there's a foundation of lust, the truth and the life that we're living goes bye-bye. That's the problem. When we believe a bunch of lies about ourselves, you know, I used to believe, look at this, I used to cut myself. Yeah, that's right. I went through a hard time when I was younger. People told me, you got this wrong with you, you got that, and I believed it. I believed that I was possessed by this lie that I have that disorder, I have this disorder, all these things that I believed. And then he said, take this medication and this medication. I did. And then one day it was like a little voice said, what are you doing? You're believing a bunch of lies. And the instant I realized that I had power over my thoughts, because really that's what it all is. It's about the truth and it's about lies. When you understand that you are this garden and that the truth was planted there from the beginning, but an enemy, while you're asleep, while you became ignorant of who you were, planted a bunch of lies within you and you started to believe them. And the problem is you can't tell the difference between a lie and a truth until they're fully mature. Understand? It's like wheat has a bunch of seeds in its head. This is the wheat and the tares. Tares, they have no seed. Seed is life-giving, and when a wheat reaches maturity, its head gets filled with seeds, it gets heavy, and it bows its head in submission. Whereas the tare stands straight up. And so you can tell the difference between a proud, lying thought and a life-giving spirit. Okay, that all being aside, when you understand that, you understand also that when people were possessed by devils, according to Scripture, it says, that they sacrificed unto devils, unto gods they knew not, unto gods they newly made. This is in Scripture, that they sacrificed unto these false beliefs, these idols. They're not real, but they believed in them, so they became a god in their life. And that's why people suffer. You suffer because you don't know the truth, and the truth sets you free. Which brings us to Legion, chapter 5 in the book of Mark. They came to the other side of the sea, to a country of the Gadarenes. I always thought it was Gadarenes. I don't know, thought maybe it was a Mandela effect, but it's probably Gerasenes. But the bottom line is, do you know what that word means? This is pretty cool. In Greek, the Gerasenes actually means the reward at the end. You get that? There's a place where you are rewarded at the end of your life, but in this place, when Christ comes over to that side, when Christ, the truth, the way to a true life, which was put to death at a place called Golgotha, so you have a picture of how the Spirit of truth, the Spirit of life, the power and wisdom of God was put to death in our thoughts, in our thinking, and is also resurrected again within us, Christ in you, the hope of glory. And when that truth comes, all the lies we believe, they get cast out, just like Legion. It's like a picture of how Christ comes to all of us. And it's like we're the ones. That's why it's many. The Legion is many people are possessed by lies today. Many, 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 many. And here's the thing. There's a great a picture of what this man was like, okay? When he stepped out of the boat, this is Christ, immediately a man out of the tombs with an unclean spirit met him. What is an unclean spirit? Something that is not true. What is a spirit? Jesus said, my words are spirit and they are life. Thought, an unclean spirit, came out of a tomb. What are the tombs? A tomb is, you're supposed to be living, but you're dead. You're hanging out in death, which is exactly what he called the Pharisees and the religious. You're your whitewashed tombs filled. So here's this picture of somebody who's, hanging out in a place of death, coming out with a bunch of nonsense thinking, understanding who Christ is, but thinking, this is the irony, thinking that Christ is going to come to torment them. Isn't that funny? How many people you think? How many people you think that you're not good enough for the truth? How many people you think that you're lost, right? And that God's going to punish you, right? As opposed to making you reap what you sow and then getting you back on the straight and narrow path. But anyway, night and day among the tombs and on the mountains, he was always howling and bruising himself with stones. Now, ironically, this is interesting because the law was written on tablets of stone. Stone in Scripture is, Jesus said, those, pick up the first stone, those without sin. So this bruising himself with stones. Stones also very symbolic in Scripture of how that religious doctrine is built. All these stones, right? But ironically, the metaphor here is bruised himself with Christ being that cornerstone, which I think is just so beautiful. It's kind of like we all beat ourselves up thinking we're not good enough for the true Spirit of God, the Son of God, the living, breathing Word made flesh. It's we don't think that we're good enough, and what we do is we cut ourselves with stones. And when Jesus was at a distance, okay, when the truth of God is far from us, this is what we say. We say, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I adjure you by God, don't torment me." It's like we think the same things. Like, what do I have to do with God? God can't reject you. God's going to reject me. God can't love me. What do I got to do with Christ? I got nothing to do with Christ. That's not the life that I live. I'm going to be tortured endlessly for not believing. What do I got to do with that? And Jesus is like, "You got an unclean spirit, dude." Right? And he came over and he spoke the truth. And he set the guy back on the right path, put him back into his right mind. Put him back in his right mind. Now this is where it gets weird, okay? Because all these demons, all of these lies, they have no place in us anymore. So where does Christ then cast these? So because supposedly, as the story goes, you legion all of these spirits, these evil spirits. They said, "Don't destroy us, cast us into the swine," and that's exactly what happened. The lies were then cast into the demons. The devils were cast into the swine. Scripture says that swine are carnally minded people. Okay? Don't cast your pearls before swine. So when the lies are cast out of us, there's only one place that they're welcome, and they're welcome in the people that, swine. They don't know the difference between good food and bad food, so they'll eat it all, right? And what ends up happening is because they become possessed by all this nonsense, they end up running steep down the hill and into the sea, which is a picture of unrepentant mankind, ignorance. That's why Jesus walked above the sea, right? The truth walks above the ways of the world. Swine and lies are only fit for destruction, ultimately. Now, ironically, you'd think that when everybody in the town where there's the reward at the end, you think that everybody in life would see somebody who's lived this life being a horrible person, maybe on drugs, maybe in jail, maybe see all these things that they've done. All of a sudden, they're like in their right mind, and they're sharing love and truth and hope, and they're trying to help other people. You'd think that people around would say, "Wow, this guy's got the truth of God." But no, the shepherds that were feeding the swine. Does it sound familiar? Like a bunch of maybe people that make a lot of money off of the herd? Okay, I'm saying shepherds, if the swine are just carnal, ignorant people, and the shepherds, they're just the people that are feeding them, right? Of course they don't want the truth here. Of course they don't want the truth on YouTube. Even the religious system, it's funny because you'll have a lot of people that'll come on here and try to condemn me as if, you have a buckle up shirt and you're talking about the Lord. I don't have a ministry. I'm a YouTuber and I'm sharing the truth, and I like the shirt. I think it's pretty cool, and I think you all need to be buckled up. And if you want to support the channel, that's a good way to do so. Yeah, or get a Uranus mug. That's right. How can I talk about God and drink all this stuff? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. We gotta be set free from the lies that we believe. So this man was set straight. He was set straight, and the shepherds were like, "Get out." No, the truth isn't welcome. That's why when Christ was about to be born into the world, he was not welcome in the inn. Where was he welcome? The feeding trough, where the animals eat, right? That's what it was. It was a feeding trough. The truth of God cast to a bunch of beasts, and we ate it all up. The good news is that truth grows. That seed, it grows, especially if it's good earth. And I believe each and every one of you are good earth. I hope each and every one of you see that, we can cast out devils too. That was the truth that God was trying to reveal. That's what Christ revealed, is that I send you out into the world. I give you power over these things. You have power over the liars and the lies. You have power to come down to somebody who is addicted and thinks they can't get off drugs, or someone who's overweight and can't lose weight, or somebody that's having a problem in their life and they can't get out. And you can say, yes, you can. You can do those things. You can be that person. You can be whatever God says that you are. He gives us the desires of our heart. So if you got a desire in your heart to do more, stop listening to the devils. Stop being possessed by the lies that make you think that you got to give up on your family. Stop listening to the lies that make you think you have an excuse to condemn somebody. Stop listening to those lies and start seeking the truth, no matter what the cost. I love each and every one of you. I hope you do subscribe, share it around, tell your friends. I hope that uploading to YouTube, that it actually looks a little clearer, because it's been, I apologize, I just don't know what I'm doing. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.